Yo, Hustle Gang, what's good? It's your boy Mighty CEO. Welcome back to my channel. And today, you guys, I'm going to basically be telling you how to start your own clothing brand with just 5 easy steps. Yes, 5 easy steps on how to start your own clothing brand. So whether you're trying to build an empire or you want to just make something unique, but you don't know exactly where to start, this is the video for you. But before we get into it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that y'all turn on your post notifications so that you get a notification every time we drop a vid. Because my brand has grown tremendously in the past few years, and I feel like now I'm at a point where I'm established. Now I'm in a place where I feel like it's time to go ahead and start actually giving you guys the gems, giving y'all the game, and bringing you guys into my experience and showing you guys how this shit is done. Having a clothing brand is not for the weak. It's not for the people that just want to go ahead and say they want to do something but don't actually take the time to actually do it. But if this is something that you really want to do, then it's going to take hard work and dedication, and you're going to go through hard times, you're going to go through experiences. It's going to take a lot of dedication, hard work, discipline. Starting a clothing brand, y'all, can be very stressful. I'm already knowing. I've had my brand for over the last 5 years. We initially started our brand in 2020. I had my first pop-up event back in Rochester, in my hometown, and the whole city came out and just went crazy. I sold over, I want to say 100 t-shirts, and I made like $1,000, $1,200 between that two. And that was just me getting in the streets and getting back into my hometown and just producing to the people. I want to just say this, when it comes to starting a clothing brand, and that's just any business in general, just start somewhere. It's not an easy road in the park, but just being able to say that you started with whatever you feel like is needed first, however it feels to you, go ahead and get it started. One thing I want to also mention is that you want to know exactly what your purpose of doing this is. If you're really passionate about selling clothes and you're passionate about your brand and want to start something to leave your name behind and build a legacy and build something with your name behind it, it does take a lot of dedication, hard work. You have to literally lock in Monday through Sunday, 24 hours a day. This is not a 9 to 5. And let me say this, there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. I still work a 9 to 5, but I use my 9 to 5 to fund what I'm trying to do and fund my business. If you're in it for the money, you're not going to always feel obligated to put all of your time and effort into your brand because it's not really passionate to you. You're just in it for the money, or you want to just make a quick little buck on the side or make a quick little side hustle, and that's cool. If you're not following us on IG, make sure you go ahead and follow us at Make It a Hustle Clothing. As y'all can see, I got my merch behind me. Right now, we're doing a big sale right now, and because Black Friday is coming up very soon, I'm thinking about opening up the website just so that I can be able to track everything. But right now, because of my site being down and like it crashes, and I'm a very perfectionist person when it comes to my website, so the reason why you guys don't always see my website up and running is because it takes a lot of shit to go into making a website, and just to having it running established. It's a lot, I'm not gonna lie. The one thing that I need to focus on more than anything is my marketing strategies. Sometimes, I don't have my website running because I'm not always generating a lot of sales consistently to keep my website going. Sometimes I'll close it down and just like I'll have my business Cash App account open. All right, so let's get straight into step 1, okay? So step 1 is gonna be basically you defining your brand. The first thing, obviously, you wanna come up with a name. With coming up with the name, that can be very, very tricky. This will make or break your brand from the jump, is what your name is. So for example, my brand name is Make It a Hustle Clothing, as you guys know. When I came up with my brand name, I tried to be very unique with using my name. I wanted to use my name because I knew that this is my brand and I want my brand to stand out. I want my brand to not only represent me, but for what I stand for also. I'm a hustler. From sun up to sundown, I'm out here, I'm getting it, you know what I'm saying? I also felt like Make It a Hustle was a great target point to be able to resonate with every and anybody, because we all out here hustling. We all out here trying to make $1. We all out here trying to make a better life for ourselves. We all out here trying to get rich, or we all out here trying to do something that's gonna get us to the next level, which is above where we at right now. If you work in a 9 to 5, you a hustler. If you outside, selling whatever you selling, you a hustler. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're doing to make ends meet for yourself, or to better yourself, or to get to a better place than where you are currently, you're making it a hustle. My brand name, not only does it connect with my audience, but it also resonates with me and what I stand for. So now we're here with Make It a Hustle Clothing, Maya. That's how I came up with MIAH as Make It a Hustle. Thank you to all of my supporters who have been following me for years, who have been supporting my brand throughout the years. This shit is not an easy walk in the park, but I have my days. It does get stressful, but I'm in this to win it, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people ask me, what is your plan B? What are you gonna do if this doesn't fall through? I have no plan B. This shit will fall through. Your brand identity is gonna be what the people connect with and what they're gonna actually see you and represent and feel like they can resonate with. So take your time with this one, because at the end of the day, it's not an overnight process. Knowing what your brand stands for before you even get into the nitty gritty of things, it's gonna put you at a higher level than anybody else because you're already trying to figure out, okay, what is my brand? What am I gonna be selling? Am I selling a story or am I just selling clothes? So you wanna ask yourself, like, who's my target audience? Who am I selling to? Am I selling to, the youth, or am I selling to ages between 18 and 25, or am I selling between ages of 18 and 30? Understanding your target audience will also put you at a higher position than others because when you know who you're selling to, it'll be easy. So if you're going into this and want to sell women's clothing, then you have to look up, okay, what type of women's clothing do I want to sell? Am I selling luxury? Am I selling lingerie? Am I selling streetwear? Or am I doing athleisure? You want to go ahead and make sure that you are very strategic with your name. This is going to also make or break your brand too from the jump. If your name sucks, I'm sorry to tell y'all, I'm gonna keep it straight honey with y'all, your brand gonna suck too. As you can see, the logo right here, Make It Hustle Clothing, is very simple, text-based, it's not too much. But what you can do with a simple text-based logo is you can change the colors. You can have your outline one color and the inside of your logo another color, and it could just go straight to the point. I wanted to just show you guys that having a simple text-based logo can go a long way. When you're trying to do anything outside of that, you want to be very strategic with what your design is. If you don't know how to get a logo, you can go on Fiverr.com, you can go on Defont.com and just find you a simple text-based logo and just make it your own. You want to also have not only a text-based logo, you want to have at least 3 different logos. Have fun with it. Create you a mood board. Go look for like some type of magazines and anything that can revolve around, you can even go on Pinterest and look for inspiration photos, or type in clothing brand ideas and go on TikTok. We have TikTok that can give you all the game that you need to start everything. So step 2, now we kind of get into the fun part. So now in step 2, you want to go ahead and design your first collection. And you don't have to go too crazy. Now, as for me and my brand, what I've learned to do is stick with one product. So throughout the years, I will also try to I've made a mistake, not even a mistake, but I've made decisions where I done bought t-shirts, hoodies, hats, jeans, shorts, sets, jerseys, and bought them all at once and just didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, wait a minute. I got all of this shit and it sounded fun to have all this inventory and different things in stock, but now it's like, how am I going to drive everyone to my brand when all of my products are all over the place? I feel like when you're starting out, you want to choose at least you can have 1 or 2 things, but just at least one thing, one product that's going to get your brand noticed and remembered. Find you a product that's going to stand out. You can start with t-shirt, you can start with hoodies, you can start with even hats. You can even do hats. I feel like even having hats is even more easier because it's like once you find a creator or a manufacturer to produce those items, it's easy at that point. So focus on creating a cohesive look that reflects your brand, and just also remember that simplicity, less is more. You don't have to do too much. Like I said, my logos are very standard base. I have my very first logo, which is my text-based logo, Make It Hustle Clothing. I have my second logo, which is just Maya, M-I-A-H. And then I have my, logo symbol, which is just the M and the money sign and a little shooting star, just to give a little bit more oomph and emphasis to the brand, right? To the name. So less is more. You don't have to do too much in your designs. Now, if you want to go into, more so graphic designs with your t-shirts or whatnot, then that's where I will go ahead and advise you to go over to Fiverr, or even on Instagram. Type in, I'm gonna give you this free gem right here. Go on Instagram, type in STD or .std. I know it sounds crazy. So when you type that in, a lot of graphic designers will pop up and you can reach out to them, have them send you their work, look at what they're doing. Simplicity goes a long way versus when you're trying to do a graphic design, it's so many different things that goes into it. So if you come up with a whack design, no one's gonna buy your merch. You wanna make sure that your design, whatever your graphic design is very detailed and it makes sense and it's something that's wearable. If I see a graphic t-shirt and it's like, it got all different kinds of shit in the graphics, but I can't really understand what I'm seeing, I'm not gonna wanna wear it. Even as a clothing brand owner, I still shop too. So when I look at stuff and when I shop for clothes, if I see a graphic tee and it's like so many different things going on in the t-shirt, but I can't understand like what it is, it doesn't stand out, I'm not gonna wanna wear it. All right, so step 3. Now this is the fun part too, but this is also very, very important. I want you guys to pay attention to this part, right? So step 3 is sourcing your product and finding manufacturers. The clothing brand game is so much easier than it was when I came in firsthand, because when I first came in, we didn't really have, and it probably was around, but we didn't have like Alibaba, we didn't have, those platforms where you can go find manufacturers. It wasn't that easy back then. A lot of people at the time when I started my brand, we were all like using the heat press, printing on t-shirts with vinyl and stuff like that, and starting it and really getting it out the mud. So you want to decide whether you're going to be local or go overseas. So with being local, if there is any type of like manufacturing places like t-shirt print on demand places in your local city, I would highly suggest going to start out with them because they might give you some type of discount or deals. Or even if you're starting off with just samples, you can go to those local t-shirt print on demand places or cut and sew on demand places if you have them in your location, and just start there because it's the most convenient. If you want to go ahead and look for overseas manufacturers, that's definitely the way to go as well. You want to go ahead and download Alibaba. That is where you find all your manufacturers from China, from Pakistan. Here's the difference between Pakistan and China manufacturers. Pakistan manufacturers will normally give you the better deals and low quantity rates. China manufacturers are going to give you a higher quantity rate, but their quality is going to be top tier. With Pakistan manufacturers, their shipping times might be between maybe 5-7 days. With China manufacturers, their processing time and shipping time could range between 15 to 30 days. So be very mindful with starting off. I will always tell people to start off with the manufacturers from Pakistan because they will give you the better deals and it's easier to reach out to them. They're going to also reach out to you. So one thing about it, if you have an Instagram page with a business page or you sell clothes, those manufacturers are coming for you. So go ahead and get you a Pakistani manufacturer, you know what I'm saying, and get in good with them. When you get in good with them, they're going to give you better rates and better deals. Don't let them play you now. When you go into this, make sure that you go into it very articulate, very knowledgeable, and like let them know that this is your business, I'm the boss, and you're going to be basically working for me. If you go into it not really knowing what to say, how to say it, not knowing what type of clothes you want, but you know what you want, but you don't know the fundamentals, the GSM, the weight, you don't know the colors or the type of print you want, they're going to do exactly what they know to do. And then when you get your product or your samples, you're going to be like, what the fuck is this? This is not what I wanted. But you didn't tell them exactly what it is you wanted. You probably gave them a picture or gave them a reference, but you didn't give them any detail. So be very detailed. And this is going for creating your tech packs for your brand. Samples are going to be your best friend. I advise you to always get a sample. Start with between 1 to 3. Never start with a bulk order. If you go into this starting with a bulk order, you will be mad. It's going to be something that's going to be not to your liking with your product because you ordered a bulk order, but by that time, you already put all your money into it. Also, keep in mind that quality is key, okay? When it comes to your product, you want to make sure that you get the best quality that you can. So I would say what will put you in a better position than anybody else coming after you is looking at the type of quality and the type of printing materials and looking at the type of material that you want for your brand. You want to always stay within your budget when trying to get a sample. So what I do is when I come to a manufacturer or when a manufacturer reaches out to me, I come to them very professional and say, hey, my name is such and such. I'm the owner of Make It Hustle Clothing. We would love to work with you guys, but our first course of action will be to ask you if you're able to provide us a free sample with paying for shipping with the exchange for working the long term. If we get your product and we like it and we approve of it, then we'll go ahead and work towards a bulk order with you guys. That's kind of like a basis of how you want to go into talking to a manufacturer. Go into it like knowing what you're talking about. So if you got to go do your research behind the back end and before you go talk to them, make sure that you have everything that you need to know to bring to them so that they know what to look for. They know what to provide for you. WhatsApp is the best app to communicate with manufacturers, which is what I have. You get a more direct response with them and they're able to show you their factory. They might even have something on hand right now that they can show you. And it just gives you a more comfortable, direct relationship with that manufacturer. If you find one manufacturer, try to stick with that one manufacturer and just see. Now, if they fuck up your pieces and it's not what you like and you've come to them and get them and gave them exactly what you need and they don't work out to your liking, it's okay to just say, hey, okay, thank you for your business. We're going to move forward on with someone else. That's okay. But if you find that one good manufacturer, y'all, I'm telling y'all, that's going to give you exactly what you need, that's going to make your brand stand out, the quality, the finish, the details, the deals, anything, all of that good stuff, keep that manufacturer. All right, so let's catch up a little bit. So you got your name, you identified your brand, you found your name, you got you some logos made, you found you a couple manufacturers, you got your samples in. Now that you got your samples in, now this is the fun part. Now it's time to go ahead and start promoting your samples. So what you want to do is you want to get on TikTok, get on Instagram, get on Facebook, get on all social media platforms and start creating the best content that you can. And this is me saying this and taking my own advice because sometimes I feel like I don't produce the best content, but I'm always inspired. So when I see things from other brands, I take what I see and put it in my own way and produce it. I would even find local people in your city who has a strong social media presence that has a name. Always try to go that route. You can shoot for those bigger influencers. Be mindful that sometimes they might not do what you want them to do because they feel entitled. So just keep that in mind. Your brand is your brand. Don't let them think that because they have bigger following than you, that they're better than you and like you're just a small brand that's coming up. Tell them what you want them to do. If you send them a piece, but you don't tell them what you want them to do, they'll take it and say, well, I'll just do whatever I want with it. When I post it, when I post it, they might not even tag you. All right, so step 4, now it's time to build your online store and your social media. So there's platforms like Shopify, Big Cartel, Etsy. I'm gonna always advise Shopify because Shopify has the best platform ever. You can now literally start off with just a $1 plan for like 30 days and upgrade your plan. Your online presence will be a huge part of your brand's success. Don't have your brand on your main page. Start your own Instagram page for your business. You can post your products and updates and stuff like that on your main page because obviously that's where your main attraction, your main following is. But make sure that when you're doing that, you drive your followers into following your business page. Post that content. Make sure that content is really nice. Make sure that you got good quality camera, good lighting. Make sure that your content is appealing by the eye, because that's the most important part of your brand is how it looks. And just stay active. So last but not least, the final step, step 5 into starting your clothing brand is to launch and promote. Make some motherfucking noise. So you want to set a launch date, preferably maybe 2 weeks in advance, because you want to make sure that you have time to post your products. You want to make sure that you have time to promote your samples, send them off to influencers, build your website. So within the first week, what you want to do is gather all your content, shoot all your content, get all your models together, go to your local park or go to your local area where there's like good lighting and background for your content. Gather all your content that you can. So now going into week 2, now you're posting everything. Take from Monday to Sunday, posting your pictures, your videos, you got your Instagram going, your TikTok going, post all of your content. Maybe you might have a pre-order going on. I'm not gonna get too much into pre-orders. I might do another video about that, because that's a whole different ballgame. That's a whole different agenda, y'all. Once you start working on your bulk order, make sure that your manufacturers are sending you videos, sending you updates that you can share with your audience on your social media so that they know, like, okay, he got his stuff in the working, their stuff is being made. Make sure that you also have your email and SMS marketing set up too on your website. And this is something that I'm working on. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the best with this. I'm still learning how to get it set up because honestly, it's so much like components into using like these apps and Shopify with having your SMS and email marketing set up. This shit is very tedious, y'all, but I'm gonna get into that a whole nother video. Just start creating some type of hype. Gather your friends, your local people, and let them know, like, I have this collection coming out. Be very active on your page. You cannot be just like in the background posting your content. You're the face right now. Unless you have somebody representing your brand this early, which I'm pretty sure that you don't, but right now, this is your time to like show face. This is your time to tell and sell your story. Your friends and your family, most of the time, are your first set of customers or your first set of supporters. So make sure, unless you have a really good following on social media and people actually fuck with you, then you can go ahead and say, you can send your products or send your links to everybody that you know and have your whole social media following, reshare your product, reshare your links and whatnot, just to drive that traffic naturally and organically to your website. Through this process, while you're launching your brand, while you're promoting your brand, while your website is out, you're gathering traffic, you're getting sales, keep yourself engaged with your followers and with your supporters, because keep in mind that people do get discouraged. They do get kind of like iffy about your brand because you're a new business. So they might be like, okay, he's selling this stuff, but I don't see his face. I don't see who he is. He's not telling me nothing. He's just selling clothes and with a link. Like, make sure that you are the face of your brand. Get engaged with your supporters. Get them on board. Give them updates. Get on live. Talk about your product. Show your product. And just keep them engaged and keep them informed of what's going on. All right, so that is it, you guys. Those are the 5 steps to starting your own clothing brand. Keep in mind, just make sure that you start somewhere. Don't get discouraged. If you don't know what to do, you know what I'm saying? We have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have Google. This shit is so easy now to just dive into, because when I first started out, we didn't have all these like resources at the tip of our fingers. If you are somebody who loves to learn and loves to learn new things, then you're gonna be very good with this. If you're somebody who feels like, well, I got it all figured out, I don't need no help, you're gonna sadly fail, because this is a game. This game is not easy, and it's like everything is a teachable moment for you. I'm a student before anything. We learn new things every day. So remember, it's all about consistency. It's all about just being determined and being driven. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down if you like this video. And of course, I gotta promote the brand. As you can see, make sure that y'all follow Make It a Hustle Clothing on IG right now at Make It a Hustle Clothing. Y'all see this is our latest drop. We still got sets on hand. You know what I'm saying? Very good quality, very detailed. What you see behind me is what we have left in inventory. So if y'all need that, let me know. I need to get all of this shit out and sold before the end of the year, so that going into the next year, we could go in to start making more product. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video, and we out ski.